All right, welcome back. The next theorem in this unit is called our exterior angle theorem. We've got one more nice piece of information that we know about all of the angles in a triangle. So here it is. If you have an exterior angle, so basically all you're going to do is extend any side of the triangle right here. And here we've got what we call an exterior angle. It is always, that exterior angle is always equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent, so this is our adjacent one right here. It's not that one, but it's equal to the sum of these two angles right here added together. Here's why. In just a little nutshell right here, we just learned that if you add all three of these angles together, you get 180 degrees. Okay, we can also say that these two are a linear pair, so they add up to 180 degrees. So if you take this angle out of both equations, then basically you've got this angle 2 plus angle 3 is going to be equal to the measure of angle 1 right there. So we're going to go ahead and write that measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. Now this is really helpful. Sometimes you can just solve for what the angle inside the triangle is. Sometimes it's easy just to find this measure and then use your triangle sum theorem. But sometimes you're going to need to use this theorem as well. So let's look at this one right here. Notice here we've got what we consider, we extended one side of the triangle. So this is what we call an exterior angle. It's outside of the angle. So all you're going to do is remember this nice lovely theorem that says that this angle that's exterior to the triangle, 14x minus 13, it is equal to the two non-adjacent interior angles. So these two are my angles that are not touching, they're non-adjacent. So we're just going to add them together. 4x plus 13 plus 6x plus 2 right there. And then we combine like terms and go ahead and solve. So 14x minus 13 over here, 4x plus 6x is 10x. 13 plus 2 is 15. Good. Now go ahead and get x's on the same side of the equals sign and solve. So we're going to subtract to 10x from both sides. So I've got 4x. Actually, let's add 13 to both sides while we're at it. 4x is equal to 28. So when I divide by my 4 right here, x is equal to 7. And that's all they're asking us for right here. We just need to find the value of x. Sometimes they'll ask you for an angle measure, so kind of just watch that and watch out for whatever they're asking for. All right, let's look at example 4 right here. Now they tell us about a triangle. They're telling us about this lovely triangle JKL, which we cannot see. They did not draw it for us. So my first suggestion would be, let's draw the triangle. Now, please don't worry about it being drawn to scale. It might confuse you later, but I'm just going to say, let's just draw a nice, lovely triangle. Just make sure that its vertices are labeled J, K, L. Okay. All right, so if angle K here is 9 more than J, and L is 21 less than twice the measure of J, find the measure of each angle. So when you read this, look really quickly. They're both K has to do with J. Okay, so K is described as something about J, so is L. Okay, L is also described as something comparable to J. So we're going to call J something. We're going to just call J X. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that in there. J, we're just going to call as X. So right up here, if K is 9 more than J, how are we going to write that? So if it's 9 more than my J, which I called X, I'm just going to call this one X plus 9 more. Okay, and then we've also got, let's see what color, let's do black. So the M is 21 less than J, 21 less than J. So we'll just take what J was, which is X, and subtract our 21. All right, so we've got values for each of those angles. Now we could go ahead and say that if we add the three angles together in that triangle, X plus 9 plus X minus 21, we get 180 degrees. And combine our like terms here. So x plus x plus x is 3x. 9 minus 21 is negative 12 is equal to 180 right there. Now we can go ahead and add our 12 to both sides. So 3x is equal to 192. And that way, when we divide by our 3, x here is equal to, well, 3 goes into 19 6 times. What am I doing? I need you guys here to do the math for me here. So 6 times 112 is 4. So x here, my x, right here, is going to be 64 degrees. Okay, so we could go ahead and write that is what our angle J was as well, was our 64 degrees. So there is angle J. Now to get measure K, all we're going to do is plug in 64 for x, add 9 to it. So we get 73 degrees right there. And then L, if we take our 64 degrees and subtract 21, we get 43 degrees. And you might want to just double check that those all add up to 180, but they do. And we are finished with that example.